You didn't need a PhD in weed science to figure out that this thing can cause 100% yield reduction.
And I assume it climbs up the stalk.
It climbs up the stalk, and it'll just completely engulf the stalk and just kill the plant. Trycera was able to take it out. The bees love it. Man, we've always had a bunch of bees on this, but the sugarcane does not love it.
So people help solve the problems. Technology and innovation are outputs of really good people coming up with solutions.
If innovation stops, we all stop.
Our people come in every day ready to make that difference.
Over the next 10 years, the world is predicted to be at 10 billion people. We are going to have to feed those people on less acres and less resources.
I often say the impossible just takes longer. We make time to innovate those impossible tasks.
We don't believe there's anyone in the industry that's got a better portfolio than we do.
Innovation. It's what we do. It's everything that we do here.
I've been producing sugarcane for 5 years when I bought out my dad and his business partner. Sugarcane is primarily used to make sugar, to make real sugar. And we also have byproducts of sugarcane. We have raw sugar, brown sugar, refined sugar, white sugar. There's blackstrap molasses. So there's many uses that we get in sugarcane.
In 1752, the Jesuit priest in New Orleans successfully cultivated it. The Jesuit priests were the learned class. They grew citrus, tobacco, different crops. They were able to grow sugarcane.
About 10 years ago, it was traditionally about a 300 to 350,000 acre crop. Now it's over 500,000. It is the most lucrative crop that we have in the state at this time. It's been a consistent performer, brings a lot of value to not only my territory, but to the state as it employs a wealth of people and brings in a good revenue source.
In Louisiana is the northernmost part where sugarcane is actually grown in the world. Many people and scientists think that we're a little crazy for trying to grow sugarcane over here because it's a tropical grass. We do experience cold winters sometimes here, and so that does kind of set us back. We have fantastic, amazing sugarcane farmers that work very hard each and every day in order to develop the best variety of sugarcane, also the best product of sugarcane. We're great stewards of the land. Here in South Louisiana, we're known for hurricanes. That is a huge problem for us. Whenever we have a storm coming, we have to think about what varieties that we're gonna plant. We have great scientists that develop varieties of sugarcane for us here that also have cold tolerance and things to help us be able to grow sugarcane and be profitable in this area.
It's really a science-driven success story. Science has evolved varieties that mature really quickly. Our industry, we start processing 6.5-month-old cane. Nowhere else in the world do they do that. They're not going to start processing cane till it's at least a year old, maybe 18 months. So we push up that window tremendously.
So I tell people we do two things. We create yield through new varieties, but the second thing we do is we have to protect yield. So we protect yield through insect resistance, through disease resistance, and through weed control. Weed control in this crop is important. It's a perennial crop. That means we get several crops off an initial planting. So we've got to keep that crop weed-free for the duration of a long crop cycle. So when you get a introduced invasive species like divine nightshade, that captures our attention and we have to address it.
Divine nightshade can be prolific. It's a broadleaf, and it's a seeding broadleaf in our industry that has come and really presented a problem.
I first saw divine nightshade in my internship with Helena in 2018, and it was in a plant cane field. It was shortly after fertilizer season. It can severely limit the crop yield of the sugarcane, simply competing for the same sources the cane's looking for. So it needs to be handled timely to control the yield impact.
Some of our research showed that we can have up to 50 to 60% yield loss when it competes. You know, competition is a really tough thing for plants, especially when you're trying to grow a perennial crop like sugarcane.
In 2014, I went down to look at a weed. This weed was like a little bush, and the outer leaves were kind of burned, but the inner part was rocking and rolling and growing, and it was anywhere from 1 foot to 2 foot taller than the cane. And I thought it was a nightshade, but I mean, Louisiana doesn't have nightshade that I'm aware of. So I called Dr. Jim Griffin from the field, and I said, I'm gonna send you a picture. I think this is a nightshade. So I sent him the picture, because I just done a close-up of the plant and didn't have the sugarcane in the background. He goes, that's a nightshade. What soybean field are you in? I said, I'm in South Louisiana in a sugarcane field.
At the same time that our sales force was finding these invasive species, LSU was finding them as well. What we noticed is our traditional chemistries that were being applied were not controlling these products.
Unlike the majority of broadleaf weeds that we see in sugarcane that are very lush and easily controlled, the vine nightshade is very woody. And so we had to find another tool to try to manage this pest problem.
You get a new invasive weed come on board, and we're looking for solutions.
Helena and LSU Ag Center have had a long relationship, but over time they were involved in the early development work of Trycera.
Trycera works really well on a lot of woody stem broadleaves, and that's exactly what nightshade is. And with the Moveo formulation, the acid of the Trycera really works into the plant fast and kills quickly.
A lot of companies won't register herbicides in Louisiana because we're a small crop. LSU Ag Center, American Sugarcane League, partnered with Helena to put forth a project to get Trycera, triclopyr, registered.
In a combination effort, they were able to get Trycera labeled. Trycera is the only labeled triclopyr that's for sugarcane at this time.
Trycera provided over 99% efficacy in controlling this weed post-emergence, so that's excellent.
It's controlled the weed, and before, you were seeing it all around.
We go to them with potential solutions to problems. They come to us with, hey, can you help us with this problem to help growers?
Cassie's one of our best growers, and working with her to solve her issue with nightshade was a perfect fit.
Thank you for letting me come out today. You have a great looking cane crop. What variety is this?
This is 885. We're growing it more and more on our farm. It seems to work for us. It's a great looking cane.
It seems to be kind of one of the promising new varieties that we have coming in the industry as well. I mean, look at how many joints we got. This cane is really taking good, and you have a very clean crop. Congratulations, very beautiful crop. This is nightshade. And as you can see, even the application of Roundup a while ago did not successfully take this plant out. And one of the reasons we found Trycera was when it comes to the Latigo species of plants, it really takes it out. So what you could do is whether you want to mix it with by itself with Latigo, or you want to mix it with any of your other herbicides, it mixes very well. It will just smoke this plant, even though this plant is 3 to 4 foot tall. But look how prolific this thing grows.
Yes.
It is definitely.
It's very aggressive.
It's very aggressive, very much a noxious weed that we have that's not native to our industry, and that's really came around in the last 10 years. Hence the formulation and labeling of Trycera. But that thing's a monster, but I can tell you, a little bit of Trycera, it cleaned that up without any issues whatsoever. And if you put it with any other herbicides, we have a little bit of bluegrass or Bermuda grass, as people call it. And when you spray that, mix your other herbicides with it, your other chemistries, and you also continue to take care of your Bermuda grass.
We have a great relationship with Helena. They are very knowledgeable about the products that they sell. They offer their advice on certain things whenever we need. They give us advice and guidance.
Collaboration is really important to us. The whole idea is to set up that crop for the season and bring about the best potential for that crop right from the beginning.
As a company that project itself or puts ourselves as a premium product manufacturer, we have to make sure all the time that everything that we say matches what we provide.
And finding new and innovative ways to do that is kind of what we do here at Helena.
Innovation, it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of day-to-day, hands-on, face-to-face conversations to make sure that we're all working together to meet that common goal.
The innovation is what we do. It's part of the products that we create, and Trycera is just one of the many.
The reason why I use Trycera in different grasses that I face on my farm is because it is a product that is very reliable, that has worked for me over time. It's so important to have a triclopyr that's labeled in our industry.
We're pretty proud of that. So we innovate, we use tools, we use different methodologies to solve a problem.
We are producing better varieties here. The yield potential is greater than ever.
It's a very, very difficult industry to be in. A lot of people think we're a little crazy sometimes because we do this for a living, but it's a passion that we have. It's built into us. You can't replace this passion that we have. We really strive to be the best stewards of the land that we can, and our suppliers help us do that.